So it's Pedal Magazine here with Peter Mogg. Just finished his race. As you can see, he's kind of just a little bit muddy. Tell us about the course.
The course was an unbelievable, frozen, muddy mess. You get into shaded areas and the ruts were completely frozen solid, then out into the sunny areas and it would just be 4 to 6 inches of deep, deep, deep mud.
So did you have to do a bike change every lap?
I changed every half lap.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kept my pit guys working overtime today. They earned their keep.
And the bike washes weren't working. What were they doing?
No, basically they were clearing the brakes and the gearing of any mud that they possibly could. By midway through the second lap, it was a single speed race. You had 1-2 gears, you just had nothing to shift to, so you had to hope that it was the right gear that you had when you got your bike. So. And
I imagine the off-camber sections were a little trickier than usual?
They weren't too bad. I run really low pressure in tires, and it made such a huge difference. I was able to actually maintain some decent traction in most of those areas and ride some areas that some of the other riders were walking or running. They were just a little bit more hesitant to ride. So.
And you started 11th, but you were seated up into the front row. How'd that happen?
If you miss your call-up, you get thrown to the back. So 3 of the top 8 guys missed their call-ups. I luckily got the last front row position, and then they ended up sneaking in, I think, maybe 2nd or 3rd row at the end. But,
and do you think it helped you?
No, I missed my pedal. Had a bit of mud gunked up in my cleat just from the start area. And yeah, I missed my pedal and actually held up I think the guy who won as he's yelling behind me. But I got clipped in, got moving, and it was on from there. Lots of fun, a few little crashes at the start, and recovered and just kept moving forward as best I could. So.
And you finished 14th, you said?
I believe 14th, yeah.
Which is a good result at the world's level.
I'll take it. With these conditions and the way the bikes were functioning, anything top 20 I think was a decent result today. So.
You've competed a lot at the national level, provincial level obviously. How many worlds have you done?
This is my 2nd worlds actually. Okay. I did Louisville last year on the elites course, and then this course this year. So.
And how would you compare the 2 courses?
It's hard to say. The conditions were similar, not quite as deep last year. Last year it was more of a frozen course with a really slimy top layer. Still lots of ruts, but I think it was harder. A much more frozen course last year, basically. So I think the conditions today suited my riding style a lot better. I could use my fitness a lot more this year. Last year was more about bike handling. This year was about fitness. So.
Well, you certainly showed you're fit.
Oh, thanks very much.
I'm here with Andrew Croutch, who had a great race. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, probably the toughest conditions I've ever raced in. I had one bike with mud tires, one bike with intermediates, and I started on the bike with the intermediates, and when I switched to the mud tires, it was so much better. I could catch people. Then when I switched to the other bike, I would lose spots again, and then it was going back and forth like that the whole race, and then going on to the last lap, I was in 11th, and but by that time my bike, I only had 1 gear, and I was getting chain suck, and I lost 4 spots. Just I couldn't do anything about it. It was just trying to get to the finish line, you know, and hardly anything worked, you know. And anyways, I'm pretty happy with my race.
14th at the world's level is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Did you do the world's on the other course down here last year?
I did. I finished 17th, but I had a crash right off the start. A guy hit me, and I was stuck in a rut. And I went down, and my bars were twisted, my chain was off, and I was dead last. So I had to work my way up to 17th. But today I had no problems. I didn't go down. I just somebody put me into a post one point in the race, but that was about it. So I just kind of got hung up on a post. That was.
And would you describe the course as fun?
No, I wouldn't. My hands, I couldn't feel my fingers at the end of the race. It took probably about a half an hour to get the feeling back.
The weather certainly changed a lot over the last couple of days, and we've had, I think it was something like -12 Celsius today.
Yeah, and it's not it's not nice for racing. You know, you don't feel it when you're racing, but as soon as you stop, like the minute you stop, you feel how cold it is. Yes. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for nice weather this whole time. That was my main thing. I was just like, let it be like 50 degrees and sunny, you know, a little break from winter, but we didn't get that.
Your qualifying was on Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So you had the really sloppy, wet conditions, but still warm then.
Yeah, it was warmer. It wasn't like Tuesday. Tuesday was like 20 degrees or something.
Right.
I think it was about 10 or 14 or something.
Which would have been okay
yeah, it was
to
nice.
race in.
Yeah.
As opposed to today that got, destroyed bikes and legs, I imagine.
Yeah, I gotta look at my bikes. I think they're in rough shape.
I can imagine. Great, thanks a lot.
Thanks.